Shin splints happens in which bone? Good. Very good. Which part of tibia?
Medial.
Which is the muscle that is in this area?
Anterior tibialis.
Tibialis anterior. Okay. So the whole approach to doing kinesiotaping for shin splints is using the function of tibialis anterior. Because tibialis anterior is inserted throughout the length of the tibia. Okay, that is what they do. And you see here, if we rotate this bulks up. If we dorsiflex this muscle bulks up. And if we do plantar flexion and inversion, this muscle stretches. Okay, remember the tissue has to be under stretch. So to stretch tibialis anterior, this is its bulking up and this is its stretching. Number one. Number two, if she has shin splints, now watch. Margin of tibia. Of course, tenderness. But which one is the point of maximum tenderness? Lower one. But she has pain throughout. See that? She has pain throughout. Okay, but in her case, around here is the point of maximum tenderness. For shin splints, locating this point of maximum tenderness is really important because all kinesiotaping is around that point of maximum tenderness. Okay, now, for shin splints, it's a female athlete. We really don't need a long one. A short one will do. We will need 2 white strips. Generally, kinesiotape is available in multiple colors. Trust me, the property-wise, they are the same. Okay, but for the ease of functioning, when I practice, I always use the blue as white strips, and I have it pre-cut like that. So whenever I need an eye strip, I can close my eyes and pick up a pink one. I know it's an eye strip. And blue strip, I know it's a white strip. Okay? That's why I said taping is an art. Okay. So we follow the good practice again. But in this case, why I am using 2 colors, and both the colors will be white strips. Okay? Both colors will be white strips. And why I am taking 2 colors? So that you can understand the usefulness or the application of both the strips, and it looks good on the athlete as well. Glamour is a very important part of today's athlete's world, so always try and add that extra element of shine to whatever you do with the athlete. Okay, all right. So we have located her point of maximum tenderness around here. All right. There are 2 ways of doing it. Take a red sticker and stick it here. Number 1. Take a permanent marker, and athlete will hate you for her life. So what you do is, you just bend the feet. And from here, count the number of fingers. Easy. Your fingers are your fingers. You can't go wrong about it. Yeah, 7 fingers. About 7 fingers. Okay. So what we'll do, as the first go is, keeping that particular point of tenderness in mind, we will apply the first anchor. Okay, we will apply the first anchor just below the point of tenderness. No stretch. Separate the limbs. Peel out the first one. Go till the last anchor length. This is her around that. Yeah, okay, I don't need to press any more than that. So what I'll do is, I will put this under 100% stretch, bring it down to about 50 to 60%, and see what the good part of kinesiotape is. As you tape, you can actually mold the tape. That's an amazing part. Once you come to the end, no stretch. Okay? The same thing for the other limb. Keep an eye on the tibial margin. This is your tibialis anterior muscle. Okay? Now, you may keep the muscle under stretch. 100%, a little bit less as you put it, mold it as you come to the end. Wow, perfect alignment. All right, so that's the okay. That's number one. The second part to this. The second part to this is again keeping in view the point of maximum tenderness, which is just around here. So what you do now is take out the first anchor. Stick it somewhere on the lateral aspect of the calf without any stretch. Okay? Now, something you need to keep in mind, that your idea is to stabilize this point of maximum tenderness, not to wrap around the calf. Okay? Now what I see is if I apply these two, I'll be going almost throughout the circumference of the calf, which is a bad idea because when she starts running, the calf muscle swells up. Okay? So if this is around the calf, it will lead to restriction of muscle expansion and maybe even limit the blood supply. So what I see as a important need is before I apply, I will just shorten these limbs a little bit. Okay? And on all points in time, you need to be thinking, guys. You understand this? You do not approach anything with a set mind. As you apply this, you need to be thinking. As you think about the next, you need to be thinking. That's really important. Okay. Now, we take off the first one. We free the last anchor point. And now, here, you apply with almost, this is 100%, just reduce 80%. There's a lot of stretch to be applied here. And if this is the point, yes, we apply it around the point. We go and we turn. Why am I turning? Because I don't want to involve any circumference of the calf muscle. So I'm turning here. Once I turn here, I just let go the last one. Similarly, 100% stretch, just a little bit less. Point of maximum tenderness. Move, turn, stop. No stress. So the point of maximum tenderness is now protected by 2 vertical strips and 2 tight horizontal strips, therefore minimizing any excessive movement of the muscle or its pull on the shaft of the tibia. Okay, and also you see we have bend it here rather than going straight all the way. We don't want to increase the circumference of the calf. All right, we have kept a significant part of our posterior calf free of any taping. So now if she runs, we still have given her scope of expanding the muscle. All right. Remember, taping, kinesiotape taping is to promote movement. It is not for resting and immobilization. So once you're done,
What is the greater stress is here? Then how do you put this?
how do you put this? The whole anchor comes below the stress. These 2 limbs become shorter. And this whole thing gets shifted up here. All right. But usually it's either in the middle 1/3 or the lower 1/3 in most cases. Okay. So done with that. Okay. Anybody for knee?